just started.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Jib Squares Always Loud. I'm Matt, as always, and I'd like to introduce my co-host for today.
Hi everyone, I'm Pooja Mathur and it's a pleasure being here.
Love to have you here. Today's topic is going to be how food brings people together. Pooja, being someone who's international student, that's where we met in the International Development Program at Humber. I was just curious what thoughts you have about Toronto's food scene compared to, where you come from.
Well, actually, it's really interesting that we are talking about this because when I came here, it was sort of a very, very different culture from where I come. And food here is sort of, I wouldn't say lacking, but for me, coming from India, food was like the central to our existence.
For sure.
Mainly. And everything that we do, every celebration, if there are people coming over, if there are friends coming over, the first thing we ask that what's being cooked, So that's how central food is to me and how important it is.
So you ask people what's being cooked, so what, if you don't like what they're cooking, you just say, all right, well, I'm sick that day. Sorry.
No.
No?
I mean, we are not rude.
Oh, okay. Do you find out they're not cooking something you like and you just kind of bring it over? You're just like, oh, no, they're not making, my favorite.
I think as long as it's not poutine, I'm good.
Poutine? Oh, no. Canada's under attack. So, no, that makes sense. I mean, for sure. Like, I do find that Toronto has that culture of, like, eat and get back to work or that kind of thing. I think job environments here especially also encourage that. But, like, I guess can you give me an example of I don't know, like, when it comes, you meant, like, I assume these celebrations are with family, but, like, what about friends and that kind of thing? Like, obviously, people go out to restaurants and stuff here in Toronto to enjoy a meal and have conversation. Is that something similar? Have you done that here, like with any friends here, where you just kind of go out, eat at a restaurant? Is that something similar, or?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no, because food here is expensive.
Yeah.
Going to restaurants is a luxury, so as international students, it's not all that often. But yes, when we have friends around, when I call them over to my place, I mean, food is the first thing I think about. What am I going to cook? Or what am I going to bring? Or what are they going to bring? So that I can cook something that, complements that. So I think even like you've known me and some of my friends from India. And for us, even like breaks between class where we used to have lunch, it was like a picnic for us because all of us would get different stuff and we would share. And I think that was one reason why we also bonded over. Oh, that's also one reason why we bonded over, food, and our friendship grew stronger. And I did not see that a lot in the other cultures here as much.
Sure.
But I think the best part was when we had that potluck in our class, and we got familiar with food from different kinds of cultures, from Afghanistan, from African countries, and from
I did bring.
You got something as
we got
well.
some Polish pierogies.
Yeah.
The highlight. I don't want to brag.
That was really good, actually.
You thought so?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess it really does come because I was the opposite. I'm like, man, these pierogies are just pierogies, but like, look at this. Like, you guys brought I wish I could remember all the names of the foods, but I remember that salad that was spicy and. Yeah,
the kurkure chaat.
Kurkure chaat. Yes, thank you. Yes, I actually have it written on my phone somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. Like, that potluck really did feel like it brought the class together, and I do remember that. Like, yes,
it was a great finishing.
It was, yeah, and I think it was someone's birthday. We also would take food, and we went by the lake.
Yeah, it was Jess's birthday.
Jess's birthday, right? Yeah, so like. I do think that's like a big play in like bringing the class together, you know. Meanwhile, like that's like kind of normal for your culture,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Very
Where
normal.
yeah, where like I think I brought a cake at the end of the first semester, and people was surprised. Like Christina was like, you know, oh my God, you brought a cake to class? I'm like, yep, absolutely. Here's some plates, here's some forks. Everybody, you're getting some cake, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
And for us, it's like food is also considered a love language.
is it?
Yeah, if you cook for somebody, that's something that you're putting your heart and soul into. So when we have, like, whether it's a family gathering or something like that, we don't normally order food from outside, but we cook it at home and we take care of what people's preferences are.
Yeah.
That's like sort of showing love.
Yeah, for sure. I think you see that in a lot of cultures. Like even my family, like when it comes to Polish like traditions, like when we had Christmas or like anything, like we had Christmas, Easter, that kind of thing. We'd have like not only would my mom lose her mind cooking, like that
I
was
can
like
imagine.
oh the stress. Like I was always like such a Grinch at Christmas because I was like, why? Like, isn't this supposed to be a fun holiday? Why are we stressing so much? And it's just because she's like, she has this tiny kitchen and she's trying to cook like this food to full a whole table. And then there's not enough room on the table for all the food and all that. And like, it's really just for like 6 people coming, but it's like, you gotta have all this food. You need to have it all cooked. You don't want to obviously look bad in front of people, you know, like it's a whole thing. But like, I guess there's a balance, right? Because like, yeah, the food brings people together, but like, you don't want to be stressed eating food. You don't want to. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for those who like to cook, I'm
Yeah.
not one of those. I like to eat though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. I would much rather be the person eating
Yeah.
and enjoying the food. You know, I definitely like. I know that like here in Toronto, especially like I don't know about like workplace culture in India, but like here, like your lunch break, like you've got this hour to eat, like go right, and like even in general, like I'm like everyone. I think it's so commonplace now that like anyone who's eating is usually doing something at the same time, right? Like they're I think that's what's taking away from it because, like, yeah, you have also food together, but it's also about just enjoying, like, or appreciating the food in your, like, on your own, right? Like, it's become such a, like, menial thing that, like, people either are obsessed with food, which is me.
Me too.
Yeah, where you just get, like, all these delicious foods, and really it's more just making sure you're not, you know, eating too much bad for you or whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's also the other side where it's just, like, food is just this and like they eat it so fast and like maybe like you know it's probably not that healthy for your mindset and that kind of thing
And it's fast food.
and it's fast food, yeah, well that's why it's fast food right there. But yeah, I especially like as students, you know, like you have international students, you have you know local students here. We get so busy with our schedules that like even between our classes, I think
Yeah.
I remember I would just like run to the microwave food. What, we have a 15-minute break? All right, cool. Like I've got, you know, 5 minutes to eat this food because it took me 5 minutes to get here, 2 minutes to warm it up, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think that really like forces people to go away from that. And I just like, yeah, like the whole, I think students have it. I think workplaces have it. It's tough. But like, I mean, how are you, like when you came here, when it came to like the food, like purchasing it and like the accessibility, you know, obviously I'd imagine there was like culture shock, but like, I don't know how the prices are in India for like food comparatively.
That's another story.
Is it? Is it?
Well, here you do get almost everything because there is a huge Indian diaspora here. So you do get a lot of Indian stuff like spices and the vegetables and herbs and everything. But it's very expensive.
Here.
Yes, because it's obviously for here it's foreign food.
Oh, okay. Yeah, international.
Yeah, so it's international food and to import all of that and to
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so to import all of that, it does add an extra layer of, money. So as international students, I mean, I cook food at home and I try to, keep things different so that I don't get bored of the food that I'm having. But yes, it's like it is heavy on the pocket, so it may not be for everybody, especially if somebody's not working or not earning or just getting, you know, the money from home.
Sure.
So for them, the availability or the affordability becomes very, very limited.
Is there any food that like you came here? I don't know. Like, did you have anything here that like kind of became part of your everyday because of how expensive food from home is, or like I don't know. Are you eating more poutine, for example?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
Never.
Well, poutine's a red flag. Okay.
I don't know. Unfortunately, I think I did not have good poutine here ever. But I think if it's so famous, it must be good, the good one. Okay, coming from a Toronto person who's lived and grown up in Toronto, the did not sound.
If you don't like gravy and you don't like, I feel like it's the same everywhere. It really is. Like, if you don't like the gravy and the cheese curds, I feel like there's nowhere you can go where it's gonna be okay, unless you get like some weird, like some places will just be like, have some pork on there or have all this stuff on there.
I did have a really good dish, like the poutine thing in Montreal.
Montreal is
it was
known for
amazing.
it. Yeah, so
That was good. That was a good one.
yeah, Montreal. I know they're famous for bagels, poutine, and their Montreal smoked meat. But yeah, so all right, time out. That like threw me off so much. All right, like what? I can't read it. I don't have my glasses on. Send me a text, man. I'm right here.
Keep going.
All right. We'll have to edit that out because that threw me out. I have no idea what that said, by the way. Yeah, okay.
What do you want us to include?
No, keep going.
Okay. Well, keep going. So, anyway, off of the Montreal speak. So, yeah, I mean, but I guess my question is like when you're here, because like obviously you want to keep food from home, but like, do you like other than poutine? Wait, have you had a beaver tail?
No. I don't think I like the sound of that.
You don't? You don't like deep fried or anything? It's like a deep fried sweet kind of thing. You ever had anything deep fried sweet?
I don't think so.
No? Not like a Mars bar or anything?
A Mars bar
Deep fried?
No.
Oh my God.
No.
Well, welcome to Canada
You need to
and
take
America.
me to good places then.
Yes, I do. Well, actually, the CNEs just started up today, so
Yeah.
you should go. They do probably have deep fried sweets. I recommend it. Give it a go. If you like it, you'll probably like beaver tail because it's like a deep fried something like
Don't
dough.
tell me it's actual beaver tail.
No.
Good.
No, we phased that out of our diets a couple years ago. No.
Yeah.
That's a joke. No, we don't eat beaver tails. Way too chewy. So no, but yeah, like really good food. Beaver tails basically have like they're the deep fried dough, and basically on top of it, they have sugar or like Nutella, bananas, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I always like take my friends out there whenever they're having a bad day, because beaver tails lighten up the day.
I might be having a bad day today, so if somebody wants to take me out for a beaver tail, they can.
Well, actually, on that, like when you
You'll be recorded.
No, he said that he takes out friends who are having a bad day. So
yeah. Why are you interrupting my podcast? No, but what I was gonna say is like, yeah, I mean, even when you're having that bad day, like, especially during school, like, I mean, obviously you've been known to be the chillest person in our class, but would you like whenever you were having a rough day, like, I feel like when you got food with like Sarthak or anyone else, like, did you feel like that was kind of your de-stressor? Like, you guys
absolutely.
went on, yeah?
Absolutely, 100%. I think those little breaks in between where we would grab lunch and, catch up on stuff, that was like a huge de-stressor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is why, for me in particular, and people that I know who are from my community, food is actually like very important. It's like, it sort of glues people together on...
It's like a reason to go out together
exactly.
as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So like, so whenever, so like you guys get food, you guys basically have an excuse to spend time together. It's like yeah, like you said, the glue. It kind of like lets you guys have a reason to de-stress and hang out together.
Yeah, exactly.
And you
and I mean, I when you think about it, if you remove the food from everything, then things do get a little boring.
it fills the space. Fills the space.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I do find that like when it comes to like, especially here in Toronto, because like Toronto, I don't know if you know, but like it's basically the loneliest city of Canada, right?
I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't know? It makes sense. Yeah, that's fair. No, but like, I mean, I've always been a person who advocates for like being comfortable with that loneliness and going out to eat, but like, I guess like on the opposite end, you know, getting friends to go out and eat. Like I said, like taking someone for a beaver tail on a bad day. Man, we should get like a sponsorship for them. I think I've said beaver tail like 6 times. You know.
What if we go famous and their sales go up?
Sponsored by Beaver Tails. No.
Make this podcast viral.
But yeah, like always take someone out for like a treat or something. Like that really brings people together, especially like the journey there, you know, it's way more expensive. That's the problem too, right?
Yeah.
Like
affordability is an issue.
Yeah.
For students.
And that's why everyone goes to fast food. That's why everyone hangs out. Like I'm not saying Wingstop is necessarily like cheap, but like it's considered fast food. It's like fast chicken, you know?
Yeah.
And there's one right by my subway station, and it's always packed with, like, teenagers or that kind of thing. Because I think it's just a reason for them to just, like, it's a spot for them to hang out.
Yeah, that's true. But you also have to look at the health part of food,
Oh,
you know?
sure.
I mean, for me, I don't think I can have, like, fast food all the time. Burgers and fried chicken.
For sure.
It's going to...
Yeah, so hanging out with friends, but at what cost?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, but then that's where you're bringing food from home,
yes.
And you coordinate that with your friends to make sure you have your picnic.
Yeah.
I wish the weather was good for a picnic today, but you know we could have done that outside. No, I mean that makes sense. I feel like that's something that like you don't see as much in Canada. Like you do see it. Like you see people plan it.
Yes.
But
in
like
summers, it's better.
For sure,
Yeah.
but you've done it like when
all the time,
we were
every day.
all the time, yeah. Like, and I think that's really important. Like lunch, like I feel like lunch really has become like a planned thing, you know, and it really like, and that's good, you know, like it's great for you to have plans with friends and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like I think having it every day is really underestimated in terms of like the social aspects, the de-stressing, like. It's how you like can really de-stress on the daily as opposed to just making plans for one day. Because one lunch, you know, like that's great. Maybe for someone's birthday, maybe for one's event.
Yeah.
Really good to catch up with people. But you definitely want to like, I feel like at work or something, having that workplace friend for food is good or that kind of thing.
I think it sort of also plays a huge part in building a community.
For sure.
People that, you know, you can depend on and people you call friends. Family.
Right, because like when you spend more time with people, I mean, yeah, for sure. Like, you know, I have a best friend and that kind of thing, but like really I see them like maybe once a week, right, as opposed to every day. Now, like that's inevitable, unfortunately, because I work, he works, but yeah, like without like the food, I mean here, maybe it's just me, but like for me, it's like
how do you guys bond?
How we bond? We go get a beer.
Oh,
that's our going to get food.
That is again, you know, a food thing.
It is a food thing, yeah, 100%. I think that's our closest thing is like, hey man, let's go, let's grab a beer, you know, or like when he's having a really bad day, you know, like, hey man, let's get drunk, you know, or go clubbing, or you know that kind of thing. So I do think or even like I always find it funny, but like whenever I go out drinking or like go to a club or whatever, there's always that urge to go buy food at the end of the night.
Yes. And
I have made the funniest and had the best conversations after that, you know? And like, I really do think it's just because when people drink that like, that stigma, that attitude, you know, that like, self-consciousness,
you lose those layers.
It's gone, right? And so you just sit down and you eat and you have a regular conversation with a complete stranger you're never going to see again. But, like, it's a great convo because, like, no one's there to judge. You realize you're both just people. Like, it's so fun. I mean,
It's very liberating, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
And I'm not recommending getting drunk every time you feel like you want to meet someone at food, you know. But like, I think it really, you know, you definitely want to consider that. Like, yeah, like, why is that a thing? Like, and it's probably because, like, we set up all these walls, all these boundaries for ourselves as we, you know, even, and I'd imagine, like, as an international student too, like, you come here, English isn't the first language, like, I can't imagine the self-consciousness that comes with that already, but, like, then you start, you know, like, I mean, in this hypothetical, drinking, and then you start making friends, like, no matter what, and, like, no problem, right? Or you just need somebody who's, like, super social and acts like they're always drunk. Me. But no, I genuinely think, yeah, like in terms of like dealing with that loneliness in the city and that kind of thing, bringing it back to like the idea of like tearing down those walls, getting just a bite with people, I definitely think that like really helps out. But going back to the potluck, right? Mm-hmm. Because I do think you like you said, like that was one of the great things we had in our class. I already think our class was really close already.
Yeah. Fortunately, yes.
Yeah, and I actually think that's mostly because of the international influence. Like you have these people who are more ready to like be close. Like I'll call myself out right now, but and like among the other people who are from Toronto, they were way quieter, right? Like only once you got us out of our shells, like did we like actually like, you know, come out. But the people who are international, all of you were friendly right away. And like, I think it's because of that we had that foundation to really become as close as we did as a class, you know? But then at the potluck, you know, like or like even at the end of, was it Eid, right?
Yeah, we had a potluck then too.
Yeah, exactly.
Not exactly a potluck, but a feast.
A feast, yeah. So like even getting like I mean, first of all, first time I got to like be exposed to that kind of culture, so that was really great.
Yeah.
But like all that food, like it's another example where like, you know, you get that food kind of bringing people together.
Yeah, it's the foundation of the celebration, basically.
There you go. Yeah. So like, I don't know, just seeing all that food and like come together, I got to eat. All you want is like celebrated how much you eat. Here, you know, don't eat too much, too many calories.
Oh my God. I don't know how do you guys live.
It's tough. It's tough, you know, like I've definitely had people, you know, like some people are like, wow, Matt, you lost weight. But then like if I eat a cheeseburger, wow, Matt, you gained weight. It's like, you know, it's like constant, right? And like so many people are so conscious about what they eat and everything, which, you know, with fast food makes sense. But like when we have like the feast from Eid or when we have our potlucks and you see all these foods come together, you know, and like, well, like you said, like I mentioned earlier, like the fact that you guys thought the pierogies were good, awesome. Yeah. That's my daily food though. So I'm just like, I mean, you know, they're pierogies, you know, they're okay, you know. But like then I got to try your food, which like is that like everyday food for you guys? No. It's like it's event food.
It's just like a snack.
It's a snack.
Yeah.
Like the oh my God, the salad.
Yeah.
That's a snack.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just a snack. It's like the lightest snack you could get.
He doesn't know about it.
We need to invite him over for Diwali.
Yeah, like what? That was a snack? My goodness, I need to go out to
You are
dinner.
getting an invitation to
Please, yeah, that was so good too.
I'll tell you, my brother is like visiting me next week, and I have the entire week of menu decided already. What we are going to cook for lunch, for dinner, for the next day, for every day.
That's like restaurant level preparation.
It
like,
is.
I used to work at a restaurant, and like I would literally get here. That's my job. That was my job. You just prepare that.
But that is the excitement around food, you know. And he's also staying in New York right now, and he's like, okay, what am I going to get for food?
Well, so what do you do for like? What about all the dishes? Who does all the dishes?
We do it.
You do it too?
The dishwasher does the one.
Yeah,
the dishwasher. Fair, yeah. I mean, I love cooking. I hate cleaning, so that's why I like working in a restaurant. But like, yeah, same. Wow, that's crazy. That's like, yeah, restaurant level preparation. Because like, we would prepare a menu. Did you take inventory too? You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna need all of these prepared.
Yeah, I'm going to get stuff today.
Wow. All right. Well, can't argue with that. Please hold.
What do you want?
Oh, okay. Well, no. So we're just going back to the potluck. We just wanted to mention
On a macro level, like what?
like all
On a
students.
society, like how could we use
On a
that
cultural
same thing
level?
that what happened in class to like bring people together, like bring it out there because like
We do. I think Toronto's attempt to have food festivals from
Yeah,
like
I think we can talk about that also.
well, back to food. No problem. I love talking about food festivals. I've been to like 12. All right, here we go. No, but like
you make things like when you go to food festival, you meet people.
I wouldn't. That's fair. It depends. I'm gonna say it depends because I did go to Taco Fest and like Taco Fest I think was actually really well done. Only because one you get to try like 100 tacos. Awesome. Very expensive. So expensive.
Very expensive.
That's the
exactly.
problem, right?
That's
like,
a problem.
Why is there an entry fee for a festival? That's crazy. And then you pay for tacos, but then they had they had like salsa lessons right there in front of the stage, and people were like dancing together, and it almost helps you forget that you paid $30 just to get in here.
Yeah.
I think it was like 25, but still a lot of money just to walk around and that kind of thing. But for sure, I do think like there could be better ways to get more people on a bigger scale together. I think festivals are the way to do it. I think the way festivals are being done is wrong. I think there are some festivals that do it okay, like Grilled Cheese Festival, no entry fee. I keep mentioning Grilled Cheese Festival. I can't wait till next time. But they had no entry fee, and there was the problem is it's still Toronto, right? So even at a festival, even though all these people are there, it's not a community until people break that barrier, and so far the only way to break that barrier is get drunk, and even then,
He is really promoting alcohol. Please, people, do not listen to him.
We here at Always Lad do not condone alcoholism or irresponsible drinking, but I'm just saying, lower your, people just need to kind of, I really do think international students could really teach a lot of Toronto about that. I just think that Toronto itself has become so self-isolated, as within its own people and that kind of thing, that the meshing of cultures it's supposed to be that, right? Toronto's supposed to be the most diverse city in Canada.
It is, in fact, and that's the beauty of it, I feel.
It is.
The diversity, but if you cannot blend it, then
exactly. That's what I'm worried about.
There are pockets, like food festivals. These are like pockets of bringing people together.
But
It's like watertight Tom.
you want to be on?
No. I'm just saying, even though it's diverse, everybody just seems far.
Isolated.
Isolated.
We have Polish village, Italy village, Chinatown. That they're all in their own town,
Yeah.
and that's
But
the
I go
thing.
to everyone, but I
But
don't
that's
think
good
everyone is
too,
like
right?
me, though.
Yeah.
I go to the Latin festival. I'm the only black person. I go to Diwali.
You remember that was so fun. Yeah.
So-
People were making videos of him dancing on, Indian songs.
They're good though.
Bhangra.
But you broke that barrier.
by myself, but not everyone is like me to be out there.
But sometimes the thing is
It takes one person.
100%. No, it really does. It really does because even now we're in a stage where the internet is such an influencer on
Yeah.
people's behavior. When people start to see and it's so encouraged now. You see all these people getting the internet used to be a place of haters, but now you also see the people.
It still is, but
oh,
yeah.
100%. It always will be 100%. But right,
Keyboard warriors.
yeah, but it's also gonna be a place of where you find support where you least expect it. You're not when you go to somewhere alone. I'm all I go salsa dancing as respectively a white guy, and people in Spanish are laughing at me because I'm freakishly tall and trying to dance with shorter people or that kind of thing. And I'm not saying I'm great, but I do all right, and it's I think you just got to break that barrier yourself.
But how do we break it though? How do we facilitate that process for people to accept the process of breaking the barrier? Because
how do we get people to accept
what
it?
Do you think? What you
We force it down their throats.
What are you going to do? I'm here.
No, 100%. Keep it in there. Listen, The only thing that's preventing diversity from becoming cultural like meshing is the people who are too dead set in the old ways of like that, like all of these like cultural differences and like separations, they're not us.